Hey everyone, Paul Gale Network here, and I wanted to paint a picture for you of what is my ideal Nintendo Direct. Or should I say, my ideal Super Mario Bros. 40th anniversary portion of next week's rumored yet highly likely Nintendo Direct. First of all, I am of the belief that this presentation will drop either on Thursday, September 11th or Friday, September 12th. If it's on the 12th, it could possibly be as late as 3 p.m. Pacific time. My thought process for that is that it would then be 7 a.m. in Japan, and 7 a.m. in Japan the next day would be September 13th, the actual anniversary of Super Mario Brothers. So let me paint this picture for you, and then you could tell me what you think of this wild idea. Imagine that the presentation kicks off and Mr. Miyamoto is on stage with Mr. Melandandri from Illumination Studios. And you already know where I'm going. They are going to give a little bit of a tease for the Super Mario World movie that is a couple hundred days away, launching in April on the 3rd of the month in 2026. Not too long away if you think about it. And they're here today to show you the first trailer, but first they would like to bring some guests out on stage. So here you've got Chris Pratt coming out, Anya Taylor-Joy, Jack Black, Keegan-Michael Key, Charlie Day, and wow, this is a star-studded affair. You know, we also have some other people that we'd like to bring out. Seth Rogen, all these folks reprising their roles from Super Mario Bros. The movie. And letting us know that, yes, Mr. Charles Martinet will also be back as Giuseppe and Mario and Luigi's father in the movie. But we have a couple of other celebrities that we would like to introduce, and you might be surprised as to what their roles are. Something crazy unexpected. Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey, come on out. Meet your new Wario, have a rotten day, and Waluigi, yeah. What? Roll the trailer. And we get something small, 15-30 second trailer, and you've got Wario and Waluigi as a couple of the main new characters. We see them causing havoc in Brooklyn, masquerading as Mario and Luigi, whom are currently away because they're in the Mushroom Kingdom, perhaps. And Wario and Waluigi, they get a hold of Yoshi, and then it's up to Mario and Luigi to fix their names, etc. We see some characters reprising their roles. Boom. Trailer ends, and it goes Jack Black, boom, Anya Taylor-Joy, Chris Pratt, Keegan-Michael Key, Charlie Day, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey. What is going on here? What a way to kick off this Nintendo Direct. Following this, Nintendo comes back on and says, but we know that you are here today for video games. So, roll the footage of the first title. And it is a new compilation package called Super Mario 3D All-Stars 2. And in it is the following: Super Mario 64 DS, Super Mario 3D Land, both games getting an HD treatment. Not a grand remake, remaster, but getting an HD treatment to be playable on Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. And the final game in this package, Super Mario Galaxy 2 Remastered. Imagine the amount of effort that was put into Metroid Prime Remastered, but for Super Mario Galaxy 2. So it's not a full-on remake, but you are going to be moving the camera around differently for the first time in this game, because the original was on Wii, but now you would have dual analog controls, kind of like how they modified, updated Super Mario Galaxy, right? But visually, they did some extra texture work. It's in 4K on Nintendo Switch 2. It's in 1080p on Nintendo Switch. It's running at 60 frames per second, 16:9 mode. In addition to some new textures, some actual new improvements in the polygon models themselves of Mario and enemies, greater draw distance, better lighting, better shadows. And this would be perhaps unpopular only available for a 6-month window of time, getting you to want to buy it now. However, since there are 2 versions and the Nintendo Switch 2 install base is relatively small at this point, a bit over 8.6 million at the time of this Nintendo Direct, maybe it will have hit 9 million by then. Nintendo could say that for those that pick up the game on Nintendo Switch, you will be able to upgrade it at any time to the Nintendo Switch 2 edition. This way, it incentivizes people to buy the game regardless of what platform they own, or don't own for that matter, because they will be able to upgrade later. 6-month window, let's go. Also, to celebrate Mario's anniversary, we are bringing back for a limited time Super Mario 3D All-Stars. Yes, the game that was made available for only several months back in 2020. Kind of wild that it's been 5 years. That's coming back for a limited time, also with now a Nintendo Switch 2 version. People who already own the original could upgrade to the NS2 version. Perhaps on the NS2 version even, unless if they do this for both, they would give Super Mario 64 the ability to be played with modern controls, with modern 3D camera angle movements incorporated in. That would be a pretty nice plus. And to have that game added to the other 2 in having a 16:9 widescreen mode. Limited time, play it on Nintendo Switch, Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2, have a little bit of an improvement in terms of resolution, etc. And there you go. But we're not done yet. Roll the footage. And up next, Super Mario 35. And then you see a paintbrush or something like that. Perhaps it is Bowser Jr. like he showed up in Super Mario Sunshine famously, messing with Mario. And the 35 gets crossed out, and it's Super Mario 40th Anniversary, the game. Kind of like the Tetris 99, kind of like the Super Mario Bros. 35 or the F-Zero 99. Here's a brand new game, Super Mario 40. Same concept as 35, just now with 40 playable characters, 40 slots at once, maybe a couple of different art styles, but it's only going to be available for a few months. Next, we're going to show you some of our upcoming partnerships. And they've got some tease of a new Mario Lego something or other coming in 2026. They're showing us that they're bringing back their partnership with Levi's. It's been several years. A brand new set of Super Mario Brothers inspired jeans, denim jackets, etc. with Levi's coming out. Maybe a new collaboration with somebody like Puma, Nike, or Crocs, as we've seen Nintendo recently explore with Crocs with Animal Crossing, and the Pokemon Company did also with Pokemon Crocs. We saw Nintendo do a line of Super Mario shoes with Puma before, and even Donkey Kong shoes with Nike, so maybe we get something like that. Black Milk Clothing here, Cold Stone Creamery, Yogurtland there. We'll see, but I think that could be a pretty cool opportunity to see what's coming next. We also have an update on Super Nintendo World, including the release date of Super Nintendo World in Singapore, because we have the park in Japan, we have the one in California, and we have the one in Florida. But don't forget, a 4th park is underway, so perhaps the Singapore one could be shown off and maybe have something new added to it, but at least get a date. So what do you think about today's Mario goodness? I think it's pretty good. But I think we have one more thing to show off. Roll the footage. And here's where my excitement meter, my creativity is kind of going wild. You've got Mario, 3D, looking good, walking through Mushroom Kingdom. Could be a mixture of gameplay and cinematics, and Mario reaches his hand out and grabs some kind of purple glowing orb or something like that, and whoa, gets blasted, teleported into space. But he's sitting there, and it looks like he's in a cockpit, and he's looking all around, and it's ships flying and lasers flying, and he looks left, and then we see a familiar Nintendo character look right, and it's Fox McCloud in an R-Wing. Camera zooms out, and you're Mario in an R-Wing, flying in space, next to Fox McCloud. You've got the Great Fox in the background, and you're actually now in gameplay mode, flying around, boom, boom, boom. They show a moment of Mario on the outside of the ship, bouncing around, teaming up with Fox, and then Mario reaches out for some purple orb and yow, teleports back into Mushroom Kingdom. A little bit of gameplay continues, and we're not sure what's going on with this title yet. Mario and Star Fox or something. And then Mario's walking. After he touches that purple orb, he teleports, but into a different green grassy field. And then as he's walking, we see shink, a Master Sword. And then the trailer ends. We know what that Master Sword is. We know that clearly he's not in Mushroom Kingdom. He went to Hyrule. And then the title, Super Mario Universe, Fall 2026. And Nintendo comes back on one last time and says, yes, that is the look, the first look of our new 3D Mario game, in which Mario will be going not just to different galaxies, but will be going perhaps across multiple universes, reaching out to characters across all sorts of Nintendo franchises. You saw a tease of a couple that he's going to be interacting with. Stay tuned for a later date when we show you just how wild Super Mario Universe is. And thank you for your time. That's my ideal Super Mario Brothers 40th Anniversary Direct or portion of a Grand Direct. You would have a new compilation in 3D All-Stars 2, and in it, the big draw would be Super Mario Galaxy 2 Remastered. Yet, even though that compilation would come out this holiday season, it wouldn't take away necessarily, I feel, from Donkey Kong Bonanza, because even though, yeah, Donkey Kong Bonanza is a new big 3D platformer, it stands on its own as something worth purchasing. And Super Mario Galaxy 2, though cool, isn't too much cooler like a brand new 3D Mario game would be, that people would buy purely a new 3D Mario game and not Donkey Kong, you know? Yet it's cool enough, and there's enough incentive to buy it because you know it's only going to be available for a limited time. It's also been a number of years since the Wii original came out. And I think you would still see Donkey Kong Bonanza sell, and this release sell, and get a few more precious million copies of Super Mario 3D All-Stars, the first compilation, out there. What do you think? That, plus the collaboration stuff with partners like Lego and Levi, a little bit of Mario movie news, because that first one generated over $1.3 billion, and now with less than 7 months to go, you might as well start promoting the new one, right? Shoes to look forward to, Legos to look forward to, new theme park additions, and finally, not just a Super Mario Bros. 40th Anniversary game for everybody on Nintendo Switch Online, but a look at the next big 3D Mario. This would be a dream come true. Let me know what you think of my wild idea. Is it too good to be true? But let's just say it is. What would you do? How happy would you be? Or feel free to share your own thoughts, your own wants, your own desires, because I would be very happy to hear what else is out there in your creative minds. All right, thanks for watching. This is Paul Gale Network. I will see you all soon for a new short, a new video, another PGN Live, and hopefully next week on Thursday or Friday for a brand new Nintendo Direct. Take care. Bye.